The NBA is 5 days away. Let's take an early look. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Craigman, aka Cash Keg, here with a Prizepicks NBA first look video here. We're going to go through. We got 2 games on opening night. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Can't wait to start knocking out these videos for you guys. And again, we've seen some lines move already since they've already posted some things. We got a lot of great things going over the Patreon as well. If you want to check that out, next couple of days, we're going to get some things going that I think could help you out in making your decisions for those plus EV plays that we're looking for. Can kind of comparing what lines are out there on Prizepicks, and then what, you know, the odds and the lines are out there in some of the books. So we're gonna have something like that going for you here in a couple days. Can't wait to drop it. But the NBA model is dropped already, and I kind of like it. Kind of like where it's at. Hopefully we can dial it in like we did the MLB model, where we're up almost 80 units in September to finish out the year. But hey, we're going to jump into this. We'll talk about each play, kind of some guys coming in and out, kind of how I read it a little bit and how it might affect some of these teams. Because we got a couple, you know, big trades that happen with Boston and Philly that could change the dynamic of those teams a little bit. But hey, if you like these videos, you want to see more of them, you know what to do. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. We'll keep knocking out these videos for you, and hopefully it helps out your research process. Let's get after it. All right, as you can tell, we have the Prizepicks desktop up here. If you don't have an account, use that promo code DFSArmy. Get 100% instant deposit match up to $100. Like I said, we got a free square here with Steph Curry. I mean, this is a free one. Of course, you're taking the over here. I'm not talking about this because it's free, right? So, again, I believe there's probably, generally, there's like a $25 max on these. So anything that I'm going to do something like this, you know, I'm going to try to go for a 5-man flex or something with these that I get a free square out of, and try to maximize my profit that way. But if you don't, you want to if you just want to try to triple your money with a 2-man, you know, take him and one of these other guys. So talk about these big moves. So with Philly, one of the big moves that they made that I really like that helps their defensive prowess a lot is they brought over PJ Tucker, and he should slide into that number 4 or the power forward role. Joel Embiid still be the center. You know, that should move Harris to the 3. And then we got Harden and Maxey in the backcourt there. So I think it's going to help them out a lot, especially in teams, you know, that, you know, they need that defense. And that's what PJ Tucker does. Basically PJ Tucker plays defense, and he sits in the corner 3s for offense. That's what he does. I mean, that's basically all he's going to do is shoot corner 3s and play defense. And then on the Boston side, the big move, I think it was a massive move for them. They went out and they got Brogdon from Indy. So the big thing with Brogdon here is he's going to be coming off the bench. Everything that I see that I'm reading so far, and that's big for him. They don't want to mess up anything that they have from Boston, you know, with Smart, Brown, Tatum, you know, Bob Williams and Horford. You know, all those guys played really good defense. I'm not saying that Horford can, but I mean, Brogdon can, but having Brogdon come off the bench, couple preseason games that I have watched, been really good facilitator. And you got to remember, this guy was a 50, 40, 90 guy. One of 9 guys in NBA history to do that when he was back with the Bucks in 2018-19. So he can do it all. And again, coming off that bench, you know, is going to help them a ton. I mean, that second unit's going to help a ton. You know, there's still Pritchard can get it going when he wants to. And they got some other scores. We see Grant Williams do some things once in a while, but having a guy that can run that second unit and even run that first unit at times is massive, having him out there. So I think that's a big uptick for him. But yeah, we're just going to go through this. Like I said, there's not a ton out here. You know, I'm recording this, just by the way, I'm recording this on 13th of October. So we're 5 days out, and I just want to kind of talk about where we're at. I'm going to do I plan on doing daily two videos a day once the NBA season gets here, doing a very early look when we get just plays like this, and then doing a later look once they give us like 3-pointers, turnovers, all that stuff. So kind of like doing an early look. We can get on some lines early before they move, and then do one a little bit later, because they usually put out the full card around noon. And we can knock out a video there as well. So I plan on doing the same thing. NBA is definitely one of my favorite. I love it, having it daily sport. But let's just dive into this, and I'll shut my yap about all this stuff. But yeah, Joel Embiid, if we look at us first here for points wise, you know, going up again, they have a real good defensive team, you know, over with the Boston guys right now. And, you know, he's going to be able to do whatever he wants to do at any point in time. I mean, we know that. Like, it's Joel Embiid, right? And if we kind of looked at what he did against Boston last year, only put up 13, 41, 25, and 19. You know, Boston's number one defense last year in points allowed at only 104.5, which is pretty low. You know, best in the league. Number one in field goal percentage, number one in 3-point percentage allowed, number 8 in 3-pointers allowed, you know, number 5 in defense against center. So having this line at 26.5, I would honestly lean less than this with him. First night, maybe there's a little bit of rust as well. Boston coming out here, you know, playing some good defense. You know, now he can put up 30 or 40 anytime. So it's like one of those things, you know, if Boston can get after him here early, I definitely don't mind going less than this on B, but it's one of those things. And B can put up, you know, 30 plus at any given night. And it's not like PJ Tucker's going to come in a lot of his offense, but it's just kind of my thought there with him. You know, James Harden same kind of thing. Is he going to be more the facilitator, or is he going to be scoring a little bit? You know, I kind of lean on these points with James Harden, that 19.5. You know, he only played Boston once last year, but he did it with Brooklyn, not with Philly, and he only scored 20 points. So at 19.5, this line's already down. It's a spot where it's really tough to take less than this, but and I wouldn't take both of these guys less. I would choose one of them. But it's one that I would kind of lean taking less as well. If he's going to be a facilitator, if we think he's going to score a little more and not assist as much, and maybe Maxey does that role a little bit. I just think Harden's going to get his in one way or the other, but I think he could be a little bit more of a facilitator. That line's also moved as well as assist, but I still kind of lean under at this point. We got Maxey, Tobias Harris, and Embiid that all get some shots. And so, yeah, I lean less, but again, it's a tough one here at this price at 19.5. So I'll probably just leave that one alone. Jason Tatum, we got to talk about him a little bit here. Like I said, having PJ Tucker on the other side of the ball here, I think is going to help a ton to slow these guys down, right? Especially Tatum here. You know, we talked about Philly a little bit, kind of seen where his points has been against Philly last year. Played 4 games against them, 26, 17, 20, and 28. This line is probably spot on for that. Again, I wish it was more at 27.5. I'm going to lean less than this, but it's just a lean on these 3 guys. These 3 guys, I'm going to lean less. Jaylen Brown, I would kind of lean more. Maybe they slow down Tatum here and to try to take him completely out, and PJ Tucker's all over him a little bit. And then maybe Jaylen Brown's the one that gets a scoring here. And we kind of look what Brown has done to them. He's actually had really good success against Philly in the 4 games he played. Not the first one had 9 points, but before that, 30, 21, and 29 in those last 3 games he played against them. So I kind of like Brown maybe going more points here and Tatum a little less. Marcus Smart, 12.5 points. You know, again, he's not going to be the primary scorer at any of these situations. Played them 3 times last year, 6, 15, and 7. I'm always going to lean a little bit less in the scoring department with Smart. He can get hot and hit some threes and get there for you, but I'm not sure I really, really, really love it. Maxey at 18.5. Again, he is so streaky. It is hard to trust that as well. Not sure I love it at 18.5. That's pretty high. But if he gets hot, he can definitely score in bunches. But again, that's a good defensive unit. And if he plays a lot with the second unit, you know, Brogdon's no slouch defensively as well. So I might stay away from that. Tobias Harris at 15.5. Again, this should be a pretty good defensive game. In the 4 games that he did play Boston last year, went 8, 25, 17, and 6. There's games where he takes over. There's games where he just focuses defensively. We might see him do that, focus more on the defensive side of the ball, and maybe that's where Maxey scores. So, yeah, it's a tough read for those guys right now. Al Horford at 10.5 points. Again, nothing that I really like here. We've seen games where Horford actually just blows up, and then we've seen games where he just absolutely disappears. And I think we're going to see a lot of that. So there's a lot of uncertainty there. You know, Boston does have Blake Griffin, but again, he's going to be Blake Griffin at this point in time is a guy that comes off the bench and plays, you know, maybe 8 to 10 minutes, if that. So, you know, Horford's can get it going, can get it going scoring wise. I just don't know if I really want to touch the volatility there. Looking at, the Golden State and the Lakers here, this is a team that's changed a lot. If we look at the Lakers, big two acquisitions that they kind of brought in is they brought on Kendrick Nunn. I think they need some of that scoring, and we've seen him when he was with Miami to get hot. Played with Illinois and did really well. He has no problem scoring the ball, so I can see them doing Russ Westbrook the 1, Kendrick Nunn maybe at the 2, LeBron James at the 3. And we got to remember LeBron James. LeBron James is chasing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar all-time points here. So are we going to see LeBron James push it a little bit more on the offensive side of the ball? Anthony Davis does not like to play the 5. I think he's going to play the 4, and the other guy they brought over, Thomas Bryant, I can see starting at the 5 here. And they're going to need him against this matchup going up against Golden State, which should have the same starting 5 as last year. We have Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, and Looney. So that's what we're kind of sitting at here. Steph Curry, again, you'll probably use the free square here, if you want to call it a taco, or just the free square here. LeBron James at 28.5. Like I said, are we going to see a situation where they're going to be extremely aggressive with him scoring points to get that? It's just a matter of time, honestly, for him to get it. As long as he stays healthy all year, he's going to get it this year. It's just, what are they going to do? In the 3 games he played Golden State last year, 34, 26, and 56. I think this line has moved up quite a bit. I think it opened maybe at 24.5 or 25.5 here. Like I said, these lines move so fast. So it really depends on what he wants to do, right? Is it going to be a LeBron game? Anthony Davis was hurt a lot last year, so it's really hard to say, is he going to be more offensively involved here? Because they don't have anyone that can guard AD. I'm sorry, Draymond, he can do what he can, but AD was hurt a lot last year, and that's why it inflated a lot of LeBron's stuff. But he played him twice last year, 33 and 16 points in the 2 games he played. Only had 13 shots in that second game, 5 for 13. That first one he had 26 shots. So I would not play the over on any one of these, but I think the scoring's still going to go through LeBron and AD. I really do. I still think LeBron's going to be looking to get that scoring title, as soon as he can, because you never know with injuries. But that line is pretty high. I'm not sure I'd touch this with this line, with these guys going pretty healthy here overall. But Anthony Davis, 23.5. I could definitely see that spot where, he takes over a game offensively. It's just, what are they going to do? When you have teams like this that are so healthy at the beginning of the year with so much talent, it's kind of tough to decide what they're going to do. And then we look at Westbrook at 16.5. That's a spot where, how many shots is he really going to take here? Now, he scored 8, 19, and 20 against Golden State last year. Is Russ going to be the old Russ where he gets super aggressive here? Or is he going to go for more assist-wise? Again, that's hard to test that. Beverly's going to come off the bench here. And at points of 16.5, I think that line opened at like 19.5, and it's already been down to 16.5. I wouldn't touch it there. If you can get it at 19.5 somewhere else, I would look taking the under at that. But at 16.5, I would kind of lean to leave that alone. And then on the other side, Klay Thompson, Curry, Wiggins, another thing where they're all healthy here. And what are they actually going to do? Lakers defense was putrid last year. They allowed they're 27th of points allowed, allowing 115 points. Field goal percentage, 22nd. Wiggins put up 12, 19, 14, and 17 last year, points-wise. And then we look at, guys like, Steph Curry, at that 25.5 mark, he can put up points anytime he wants to. So at 25.5, it depends on who's, is he going to get hot? Is Clay going to get hot? Is Wiggins going to get hot? He put up 21, 24, and 30 in the 3 games that he did play the Lakers last year. And like I said, they were not good defensively. I don't think they're going to be good defensively this year either, unless Anthony Davis can stay extremely healthy, or Thomas Bryant can stay healthy at that 5, so AD doesn't have to slide down there and play that 5 much. And then Beverly at 9.5 coming off the bench. I'm not sure I love that either way. So, it's let's go over to rebounds real quick. That's kind of going through the points. I don't want to make this video extremely long, but more want to talk about some of the changes that they did make. Let's go over to assists, because I want to talk about James Harden here. I look at this one being more as an under with Maxey out there as well. But we've seen him put up massive numbers anytime that he wants, that he's out there. But it's a tough one. This has actually been down a little bit. At 9 assists, you almost want to take over 9 assists here. But again, we talked about Boston defense being number 1 in the league. Are they going to, slow Harden and be down and make those other guys beat them? Because you have an offensive liability when you have PJ Tucker out there shooting those threes. But maybe that helps James Harden a little bit if Tucker gets hot and, Harden finds him in the corner there, So that's a thought. Looking at these other guys for assist-wise, anything that kind of stands out. Tobias Harris sitting at 3.5. I don't think he's gonna. I think he's gonna look at more scoring-wise than assisting the ball. So I kind of like taking the less than 3.5 assists for him, just for the simple fact that I think he's going to be leaning on scoring a little bit than assist. I think this line opened at 4.5, which I wish I would have got before that. But the 4 games that he has played against Boston here, and again, Boston is ranked number 1 in assists allowed, only 21 a game. But 1, 3, 2, and 1 assists the 4 games they did play against Boston. So if I had to lean this with Tobias Harris, I would lean less than 3.5 assists here. Smart at 6 assists is pretty high, honestly. If Brogdon comes in early and maybe he's more ball dominant at times, maybe that hurts, Smart not having the ball in his hands at all times. So having it at 6 is pretty high. Played Philly 3 times last year, 8, 3, and 1 assist. And it's a spot I would lean less than 6 assists for him for sure. I want to see how the Brogdon rotation kind of works its way out when he comes off the bench. But it's a spot where, I think I would lean under this at 6. I don't think he's going to get more than that. So we're going to lean less than this 6 assist-wise. And then coming down to LeBron. Is LeBron going to have the ball in his hands a ton? Or is he going to look to score and still let, Russ and Pat Bev kind of facilitate the offense here? That's something that it's kind of hard to guess what they're going to do. I would assume LeBron's going to be more scoring centric, coming out the gate early on. So maybe we don't see quite as many as assists here. I think that line opened up at 7 or 7.5, and it's already down to this point. Golden State is ranked 2nd in assists allowed, so right behind Boston. 3 games he played Golden State last year, put up 5, 8, and 3 assists. I'm going to lean under or less than this, just with Westbrook out there. I don't think he has the ball a ton. I think they split, duties a lot here, bringing the ball up at times. So he's always going to try to make the right play, but I'm going to go less than this. I wish we would have got it at 7 or 7.5, but at 6, I will look at less than 6 assists here for him. Same kind of thing with Westbrook. Is like, how is that going to affect him at 6.5? The 3 times he played Golden State, he had 4, 5, and 4. So, is Pat Bev going to come in and handle that ball more, and Westbrook's going to be more slashing to the basket? Are they going to split it? I want to see that rotation. So keep that in mind when making these decisions here. Rebounds a little bit. Kind of looking at this, if there's anything that kind of stood out. Joel Embiid at 11.5 rebounds. It's a pretty solid number there with, the guys that they have on Boston to be able to rebound the ball there. So 11.5 is a pretty big number. If we kind of look what he did last year at Boston in the 4 games he played, 18, 10, 13, and 9. They're going to need his size up against these guys. So 11.5, I don't think I'm going to touch it either way. I think that line opened up at like 10.5, which at that point, maybe you lean a little bit more, but 11.5, I don't think you're going to look at it that much. Looking at some of these other guys, if there's anything that stands out a lot, there's not a lot when I looked at first glance of rebounds that I was like, this stood out to me. I want to look at, taking more than that. Anthony Davis at 9.5. If they do start Thomas Bryant at the 5, I'm not sure AD is going to be able to get as many boards that are out there. So I think that's something to kind of keep in mind there. If they do start him at the 5 and AD at the 4 and Thomas Bryant at the 5, maybe I would lean under the 9.5 rebounds here. But it depends on how that starting lineup kind of looks. Then Horford, Curry, nothing really stands out here. I think it's more on the point side, some of those unders, and then the assist side, some of those, less than. We got two great defensive teams here, so that's where I'm kind of looking at things. Again, I'll keep doing these videos throughout the season. And if you like these videos, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and I'll do my best to kind of give you as much information and stats to help you make your decisions. Like, that's what I am trying to do more of than just give you plays. Like, I'm trying to, everything that I read and the research that I kind of, pulled out, I'm just trying to give you that so you can make these decisions on how you see the games going. But that's kind of how I see these 2 games. I can't wait. We got 5 days until it starts. And again, if you want to check out, we got some cool things going to go on the Patreon. You can join below. Got some NFL plays up. College football's coming on. We again crushed college football last week, 12-1. And like I said, NBA's here. NBA model is up, and we got a couple cool things that we are working on. So again, I'll see you guys on the flip side. Appreciate each and every one of you. Deuces.